With doorbuster deals like a Savannah acoustic or Rogue electric guitar, your choice just $59. A complete PDP 5-piece drum kit by DW for $299. A Mitchell ukulele for just $29. Or a 12-pack of D'Addario guitar strings for $25. Save up to 40% on gear in every department. And go to GuitarCenter.com to download your money-saving coupon now. Doors open Friday at 6 a.m. Black Friday weekend at Guitar Center, in-store and online.
If you would like to become a wholesale buyer of the premium quality longevity product that you hear about right here on the Tan Talk Radio Network for personal service, you can pick up the phone right now and call Lola at 727-441-3311. Again, that's Lola at 727-441-3311. Or for even faster service, log on to tantalkhealth.com. That's tantalkhealth.com. Here's to your health and longevity.
Hi, this is Misty Wells, your host of Let's Take It Outside. Join me every Friday, 5 p.m. on your ride home. We'll talk about getting outside, getting dirty, fishing, hunting, diving, and camping. Whatever you like to do when you take it outside. Spend your afternoons with me, Misty Wells, Friday, 5 o'clock, right here on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Hi, this is Dan Wendell of the Dolphin Financial Group, inviting you to join the conversation on our show, Financially Tuned. Every Tuesday at 5 p.m. and Thursday at 9 a.m., we will be discussing all things financial. We'll talk about retirement, investing, and financial planning, and bring on special guests to discuss many important topics. Join us on Tuesday at 5 p.m. and again on Thursday at 9 a.m., or listen to our archive shows at dolphinfinancialgroup.com.
Have you ever had the desire to do something adventurous, exciting, fun, delicious, or suspicious, and don't know why or when it hit you? Well, now you'll know. 441-3311. Yes, you'll hear it right here on your own local radio station. You can shout your message to the world. Get people to come to your business, enjoy your services or goods, and the good news is it's affordable. Call 441-3311. That's 727-441-3311. And, oh, by the way, my name is Lola.
Hi, I'm Dawn Reese, talk show host for over 35 years from Hollywood, California, now in Clearwater, Florida. Tune in Wednesdays from 6 to 8 p.m. Do you want to get connected in show business? Real people that will help your career. Call in to be a part of this show. Do you want to be discovered? Do you have talent? I have weekly auditions. Do you want to be a teen reporter or a beauty queen reporter? Please go to HollywoodConnections.biz and call 727-871-7788 for your audition now. I'm Dawn Reese, your host. Tune in.
Are you looking for a job? Join me, Gene Hodge, on the Employment Opportunity Hour, Thursdays from 7 to 8 p.m., where I will tell you and share with you, as well as answer all of your questions and help you find enjoyable employment instead of a job. This is the only talk show that talks about everyone who makes up our workforce. Join me on the Employment Opportunity Hour every Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. on the Employment Opportunity Hour.
Don't turn it off now. You need this stuff. Tampa Bay's Tan Talk Radio Network.
Hey, this is Vern Troyer, and you're listening to Dawn Reese's Hollywood Connections.
Hey, what up, you guys? It's your girl, Vivica Fox. You are watching Hollywood Connections on Tan Talk Radio with Dawn. Little foxy thing. Enjoy.
Welcome to Hollywood. What's your dream? Everybody comes here. This is Hollywood, land of dreams. Some dreams come true, some don't. But keep on dreaming. This is Hollywood. Always time to dream, so keep on dreaming.
All right, it's Wednesday. Well, you know what that means. It's your number one entertainment show in the Tampa Bay area, Hollywood Connections. Your special Thanksgiving edition is hosted by the lady with all the connections, Dawn Reese. Lights, camera, action. You're on.
Hi, thank you so much, Peter. I hope you enjoyed the last hour with Eddie Munster, Butch Patrick, that called in, and we were super excited to have him as our VIP guest. And before we go to our first VIP guest in a second, let's go to the Renaissance Festival that we're going to be covering in Orlando. We have a lady on the phone that's going to talk about it. Are you there? Hello.
Yes, I am. How are you doing tonight?
We're fabulous. I hope you're enjoying that intro with my producer, Super Peter producer.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
I appreciate that. Peter Blake here.
Yes. So,
Hi, Peter.
Hi, how you doing?
Hi. I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. Happy Thanksgiving, by the way.
thank you.
You too. Yeah.
We love it. And so tell us about the Renaissance Festival and what you're bringing to Orlando coming up and the date.
Yes, December 2nd through the 4th, we will be hosting Orlando's very first Renaissance Festival in Bill Frederick Park, which is just outside of the attractions area. We're coming, this is, like I said, our first year. We're a brand new event, and we're super excited to bring forward this opportunity for families to come together, for people to have fun and enjoy a wonderful event right before the holidays, where, you know, this is the time that everyone's focused on getting together with family and spending quality time. And we're really excited to have this event where people can come out, have fun, have a good time, buy some really amazing gifts, and see some wonderful shows.
That is so cool. The first ever in Orlando. That's amazing. And where can they buy tickets? Your website, where can they go to?
Absolutely. On our website, www.orlandorenaissancefestival.com, we have a little button up at the top that says Buy Tickets Now. They can just click that link. It'll take them to the Square store, where we have options for both single-day tickets and weekend passes.
Ooh, how super cool is that? And then is it just one day? How many days is it?
It's 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, December 2nd through the 4th. Our Friday day is actually an educational opportunity. We have discount tickets with student ID for just $10. And that's the day when we're encouraging students and schools and homeschool groups to bring on out their students and let them get some extra educational goodies that we have going on.
Oh, how fun. And I'm excited because our reporters are going to be out there reporting and finding new talent and talking about the event that will air as well.
Yes, and we're super excited to have you guys out.
Oh, thank you so much. And tell everybody your name.
I'm Kira Phillips. I'm the chairman of the festival.
Then.
Yeah,
Cool.
so it's going to be a wonderful event, and we're very glad to have you guys coming out to cover it.
Thank you. And we'll be actually working with you on that in the next week. We'd like to have you call in and talk about it again next week.
Oh, sure thing. Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, I'm Dawn Reese, your Hollywood Entertainment reporter, and thank you so much for calling in. And we actually are excited to have you on the air, and we have another VIP guest that we're going to as well. And happy Thanksgiving to you.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well.
All righty. And so we have, Peter, I search for the best of the best. And
you always do.
I do. And I was over at Comic-Con and I heard this guy named Donnie and he's like, oh my God, my agent is Louise's People. And I'm so excited. And then another actor told me about Louise's People and we have Louise's People on the air. Are you there, Louise?
Yes.
Hi.
Well, it's nice to hear good things.
I'm glad.
It's always rewarding.
Well, you know what? I mean, it's always good to, my favorite agent as well, Sherry Reichert, had passed away last year, about a year and a half ago, and she was a dear friend of mine. And, and to have a good agent to represent you for TV, film, and print, tell us about Louise's People.
Well, it's actually a bit smaller. I am SAG-AFTRA.
I heard that. Congratulations.
Yeah. And I started to venture out more into film about a year or so ago because Georgia was exploding. Mm-hmm. And I ventured out, and it's been a great year. I love it. We used to be so busy in Florida with commercials. I never had a minute to think about exploring anything else. We were just constantly being hit by commercials. But now you've heard of Hollywood East, which is Georgia, Louisiana, North Carolina, and that has changed things so much. And we think of ourselves as the Southeast, so we can extend more opportunity to the talent in Florida who really, really love film and TV. And it's just been a great year for that. And I think an agent needs to grow just like a talent needs to grow. Mm-hmm. And so when I began to explore that, I got remotivated, excited. You reinvent yourself, just like a talent would.
Right.
So it's been very good. I like the family feel of my agency. I don't have a lot of people. I'd rather have a few that I work over and over and get to know. It's just, I think today things have gotten a little colder. People don't speak as much. I really wanted to hone this agency to be more of a one-to-one, hands-on kind of feel, and I think it's working.
I love it. You know, I went to your website, and give everybody your website.
Yeah. Yeah. When I started, I really, really had a mission statement, and that's another thing that's super rewarding for me because everyone knows I'm a big animal rights activist, so we tithe a lot of proceeds to animal rights groups.
I love it.
From local ones to Polish's Poochie Rescue. She's my hero. I love her. To PETA, you know, and it makes the talent feel like they're a part of something, they're giving back. And I always tell them it's not just about casting and booking and being the it person. It's about what do you do with your voice, and then what do we do with the money? You know, we want to make the world a better place, so we're going to push it all forward. And it makes me happy to do that. You have to have a reason for being, and that's always been a big one for me.
That's awesome because that shows that you have a really good heart, you know, with the animals, and you know, and yeah, I've been telling so many people. They've been asking, you know, Dawn, I need an agent in this area. It's Louise's People. Is it?
Yes, it's Louise's People, and the site is louisespeople.com.
Right.
I have two different Facebooks. I have the agency Facebook where I keep most of the business, and then I have my personal page under Louise Kale. And I am so excited because I wanted that family feel, and that's what we do, and I love it. I think an agent has to be a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be cold. It has to be more heartwarming. You have to make the talent be the best possible person that they can be. Booking something is exciting and they make money, that's all good, but I think I want them to think more about who they are and what they want to attain in their life as well.
That's awesome.
And when you get really big and you have 500 to 1,000 talent, you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't.
And I noticed what ages do you accept for your talent agency?
I like to start them at 5. There isn't
Wow.
a ton of work for babies.
Okay.
5 on up. And I love seniors. This year I was extremely proud to share a bucket list wish with one of my senior men. I cannot say the movie he's in right now because it's not out yet. And when they get in a big movie like that, until it's out, we can't say anything. But God bless him. He drove to Georgia for the callback. He worked there, and I wanted him to keep calling me along the way because I was so worried. And I was telling the casting director, please take good care of him because he was very elderly when he gets there. Please. And I told this gentleman, when you get there, call me. When you get home, call me. That's the kind of agent I want to be.
That's from the heart.
I was just so happy that at his age he got this huge movie. It wasn't the money. It was just the fact that he attained a wish for himself. So that's why I tell people it's never too late to start it.
You know, my co-host
have to have desire.
Yeah, my co-host Yvonne Madison, she's on the road right now to a Thanksgiving dinner in another state, and she's 80 years old, and she is looking for an agent in this area. And I'd love to, actually, you know what? I'd love to come into your office and sit down to do a sit-down interview with you as well, and you can meet me, and then you can meet Yvonne, and we try.
Oh yeah, that would be fun. That would be fun.
Very cool. Now, I noticed on your website, if somebody wants to register, I mean, when you said senior, so, this is all ages, correct? After 5 years old.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because, and the only reason I say 5 on up is the little ones, there's not a lot of work here for under 5, but the little ones have a real hard time sometimes on a set. They'll go to a casting and they'll be fine. And then the day of the job, they could freeze. It's hard for them to be on a set all day.
Right.
And you can't expect them to work that. It's hard for an adult sometimes to do an 8 to 13-hour day. To
Well-
go to a casting, to go to a callback, to go to a fitting, to go do the job. So I tell the parents, let's wait and don't push them. If you have a child that wants to do this, let them tell you they want to do it.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Now, I have two questions, and I know I have a co-host here. Chris, say hello to Louise.
Hi, Louise. How are you?
And yes, and Peter Blake is my producer, and he's looking for an agent, but probably has a question on a sports agent. Do you, Peter? You ask Louise.
Well, I actually got an agent. I'm working on having an agent, but I don't know. I don't know what my question would be besides the fact of you just mentioned that if you start out late, it doesn't mean it's over with. It just means that. So, how many people do you normally see wanting your services and basically starting out late in their career?
A lot, because when seniors retire or they move to Florida, they don't know anyone. And also, a lot of my seniors have a spouse that's gone. And, or, you're retired and hubby's on the golf course and you're sitting around twiddling your thumbs. You don't want to feel useless. You have a lot of history to share. You're not done. And I think, an artist has a toolbox, and you reach into that box and all the good things that have happened in your life, all the bad things, those are your tools. So when you're elderly, look at all that history you have to pull from. And I think that you become a better actor because you have to pull emotion. And sometimes when you're young, you don't have that yet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can go to your classes every night. I love Kathy Laughlin's class.
Kathy's great. I know she was trying. She was trying to get the show.
I mean, she is so good. And her students are like, oh gosh, on big projects. But when you're young, sometimes you don't have that. You really have to dig deep. But when you're older, you've been through so much, and you have so much to reach down and grab from. And it keeps them young. It gives them purpose. And they have a ball, and they're not scared of anything. When you're older, it's like, oh, the heck with that. What are you afraid?
Right. Well,
done it all.
Well, the question too for Peter, I know he has an agent, but if you ever have, movie that comes up or, commercial that comes up that may need a sportscaster or, a spokesperson, that's Peter, what she does for TV and film.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I do film, TV, commercials, print, not as much anymore. They're tending to lift the print from the commercials we do now. Technology has changed everything. So we'll do a commercial, and it'll list all the media that's already wrapped in that. And in the old days, they'd hire the photographer to come out and take pictures. Well, now it's just listed. It's just listed. You can change the person's hair color. Everything has changed so much.
Well, do you have a question for Louise, Chris?
Yes, I do, Louise. As someone who's not as familiar with the industry, film and movies, what type of things do you do specifically for your clients?
Well, I try to get them the best training because you can't just go out and do it. I always tell talent, if you went to a surgeon, wouldn't you want a surgeon that had years and years of experience, not the seminar? I had a seminar last week, and I know I can do this. And I hear this from talent, but I know I can't. But I know I want to. Well, wanting to and being able to do it is two different things. And the want is good, but you have to hone your skill. So I want them in a good acting class. I also would like them to do theater. I would love for them to do improv. And then we want a nice, organic, real headshot, no modeling shots, no pretty shots, no glamour shots. I want to see the range of what this person can be. Could he be the tough cop? But could he be the drug addict?
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? The bad guy, the good guy. And so I have a photographer that I love that can reach in and grab that. He's a very organic photographer. And then I send them out on casting. Now, for film and TV, you don't do that anymore because, A, it's not here. We lost our tax incentive, so it's not Florida. Mm-hmm. When I work on Actors Access, and my actor has all his different pictures on his account, and he has maybe some student films on there, some experience, when I get my Actors Access printout of the movies that are in Georgia, Louisiana, I fit the part. That's what's so much fun about film and TV. Anyone can be on a roller coaster screening, at Busch Gardens, the commercial stuff. Mm-hmm. But the film, the TV, it's so interesting because you're really having to think, who could play this part? So you submit, the agent submits. It's not up to me. I can submit 100 people a day. The casting director looks at it, shows the big studios, and then, of course, they'll say, yes, here's the script. Let's get him taped. So that actor, if he is living in Florida and he can tape himself or go to someone who tapes well, we download it. It goes to the casting director in Georgia, and that's how you're booked.
Well, do you do a lot with HSN at all with models? People always ask me all the time.
Yeah.
Very cool.
HSN is such a big client here. It's just exploded. Mm-hmm. And that's how people buy now online.
How about for male models for HSN? Do you cast a lot of that as well?
Usually they do fitness there. It's more of
Chris, you could do that.
Stuff for the guys. Yeah,
Peter?
The real cut abs, and the guys that can stay on machines all day. Same for the women. But HSN, it's so funny. This is another thing people misunderstand. Women will call and they go, oh, I can't model. I'm too old. And I go, but that's not what they're looking for. They're selling products to make people look better. So we want issues. We want dry skin. We want, curly, dry hair. We want all those before and after women. And that's another thing that, again, seniors, women that are retired, it's wonderful work for them. It's easy work. It's easy work and fun.
That's true. When my father passed away, my mother, I put her on a couple of movies back in Fort Lauderdale at the time. And she said this was so fun. This got her out of her, just element of something fun where she was getting attention. And she said, Dawn, this was magical. Thank you. And, she's now passed on. But just to make that experience for somebody that, says, hey, I can do this. I can be an extra for, and you do that. And that's
your
cool.
Confidence. You meet new people. And I've had so many women that if they've lost a husband or they're new to Florida, they'll do some modeling at HSN, and they turn into different people. They just get really happy and confident, and then some of them that are really good, I'll say, okay, now let's take a step further, and let's do some acting. One of my seniors, she was really full of piss and vinegar. She started out as a model for HSN for hair products, and she became the Cozy Shack spokesperson.
Ooh.
She went to a casting, and this casting was all through Florida, and out of all the senior ladies in Florida, she was the Cozy Shack. She became the Cozy Shack lady.
That's totally cool.
You never think in their 70s or 80s that could happen, but it did.
Well, Yvonne is going to be so excited to meet you. I know that. I don't know if Yvonne is going to call in. She's probably on the road. But also, too, is, we have a few more minutes left, and in my inquiry mind wants to know, how did you start out as an agent? Were you a model yourself or an actor?
When I was younger, yeah. A lot of my relatives in New York were in the business, and I wanted to be a model, but I only grew to 5'2". But that was okay. Was okay. You can still do your acting, And then I moved to Florida because my family came here, and I progressed from working in photo studios. I went the whole circle. I went how the photographer takes those pictures, being a makeup artist. I worked at Dot Burns Agency.
Oh, remember Dot? Yes. You worked with Dot Burns?
She was like a mom to me. Yes, I did. Oh. And I learned the agency parts, the photo parts, makeup, everything.
Because,
I started my own business.
Oh, my gosh.
Consulting. And then scouting. And I would say, here 6 months, go to New York 6 months, bring the models up there. And then one day I came home, and an ad agency called and said, look, you're preparing all these people. Why don't you just open the darn agent? And I said, no, because then you're never free. You're an agent 7 days a week. I don't have off ever. Mm-hmm. So I didn't know if I wanted to do that, but I did.
Wow.
And that's how it started.
You know, Dot Burns used to send me out a lot back in the days. And then she had called me one time and she goes, Dawn, do you want to buy the agency? And I think I was going through a divorce at that time. I'm like, I'd love to, but I can't. You know, I was going to comedy school at the time. I know.
Her family didn't really want to. You know, being an agent is hard. You have to be very dedicated, and you really don't do much else. You have to be there. It's like having a bunch of kids forever.
Right.
You have to be. It's like tonight's Thanksgiving, and I was casting Bloodline.
Okay.
So, you know, you're never really off, and that is not for everybody. Especially if you have a family.
That's true. I used to see my LA agent friends, and I'd pop in like I Dream of Jeannie, and they just nonstop, really a lot of hours, you know, making bookings. But, you know, also, too, is I noticed on your website, of course, I uploaded my photos, and I sent them over to you. But how long does it usually take if you, because I used to work, you know, with Boca Talent back in the days when Anita used to run it, and then she had sold it, and Sarah Parker agency back in West Palm. And, you know, I would see a lot of.
I remember that.
Yes. And
I remember these names.
Yes, it's a small world here. It really is. And, you know.
I've been around a long time. Yeah. I'm going to be 65 in March. I've been doing this forever.
You don't sound like it either. Wow, that's awesome.
I know. There's days you feel like it, though.
Well, you know, and the question is, people are going to ask, you know, like sometimes I would send my son out, you know, when he was younger, and the agents would say, we don't have his look. And then all of a sudden I'd send him out 6 months later and they go, oh my God, who is this child? You know, because they had so many of that look. How long does it take usually for you to respond back to talent? You know, if Chris sends something over or
really fast.
Okay.
Really fast because, you know, for me, let's get this off my desk because you don't know when you're going to get hit with a casting or 10. Mm-hmm. And if you put things off, if you put your billing off, if you put your new faces off, if you put all the business off, I can't do that. I can't. Once it's on my site, I look at it and, you know, I either want the person or I don't. Like today, I called people. Mm-hmm. I had a stack of little kids and I called them all. I didn't expect them to call me back because it's the holiday, but, you know, it's done because I don't know what's going to happen Friday morning. Mm-hmm. So as an agent, you learn, don't just put it to the side. You need to get this done because you don't know what's going to happen. And when there's a casting, it's madness because you've got to fill those slots. Right. You only get one slot per character, so you've got to work very hard and fast. And if you get hit by several in a day, it's a little crazy.
What
this isn't for everybody.
Right. What people are going to ask, you know, and I'll probably get emails after this, and they'll say, you know, Dawn, I heard her talking about photos, and, you know, what's a reasonable amount to spend on a good photo shoot? You know, if you're
now you only need one color headshot, and I don't really know what the photographers are charging. I try not to get into that. Mm-hmm. And here's another neat thing that when you get started, and let's say you're limited on funds, I am getting the most beautiful pictures from parents who take pictures of their kids with their iPad, their iPhone. I'm like, who did this picture? And they go, I did. And I go, wow. Oh, holy. If I can teach you how to if I can say, smile into the camera, minimal makeup on adult women, men just natural, and kids just, I tell the parents, it's like they came in from the playground. Just take a headshot and a body shot. Some of these pictures are just divine.
Wow.
In the old days, people spent so much money on comps. You don't need a comp anymore. You need a color, smiling headshot. And if you get started with that in a resume, and you book a commercial and you stay in the business, then you can go spend, you know. I always tell people, do it a little step at a time, you know.
That's true. And you're right here.
And the clients now, they'll see the headshot, and then they'll go, oh, can I have a selfie? Why do they say that? Because they want to make sure the headshot looks like the person.
Right.
So even my big clients now for commercials, they'll go, I need a selfie. So that's the word I hear constantly.
Love it. I know Chris has another question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Louise. How often can you go on casting calls? And if you is it something where you have to go on a lot of them in order to get one, or is it just kind of luck of the draw?
No, You know, Florida used to be super, super busy. It slowed down because of Georgia. And because, again, when the tax incentive was gone, our infrastructure collapsed, you know, and even some of the commercials left because, you know, a lot is in Georgia. Pinewood Studios is there. It's huge. And, of course, Tyler Perry. So a lot of the commercial market left. Some of the clients I used to book for all the time, they're in Georgia. So this is how I would look at it here. It's never going to die. It's always going to be steady, nice, slow. But it's not going to disrupt your life. If you're thinking this is going to be every day, absolutely not.
Now, when you're talking about Georgia, now, if there is a booking, of course, do they pay for your gas or they pay for your flights over there, or are they...
No, and let me tell you why. They
Okay.
have a really strong protected tax incentive. So they have to prove that the talent that they hire in order to keep that tax incentive in their state in Georgia has been just phenomenal, figuring how to do that. You have to show that you have a license or a home or residence, that somebody in other words, you live there. You can prove that you have something there. Because if they start pulling in a lot of people from here, they'll lose their tax incentive, and
That's
they're not
true.
going to do that.
Right.
Now, this elderly gentleman that I booked on this huge movie, I told him right up front, they're probably not going to pay for your gas or your food or your hotel. I don't care, he said. He drove up to Atlanta. He did it in person because this was a big movie. They couldn't book him just from the tape. So he drove. He came home, and they booked him, but they liked him so much. Guess what? They did pay for his hotel, gas, and food.
Oh, nice, nice.
So they can. They will, but they can't promise. So when someone does Bloodline and they have to go to the Keys, I have to say to them, if you get booked, and I did book a little girl on it years ago, I said, they're going to call you at 6 o'clock that night, and you've got to throw your 8-year-old in the car and haul to the Keys. Will you do that? She said, yes, I will. And that's exactly what happened. 6 o'clock at night, we got the call. Mom threw the little girl in the car and hauled down.
Oh, wow. And that's dedication. I used to do that with mine, too. You know, he was the Burger King boy back.
That's a very important word, dedication.
Exactly.
You've got to have it. You've got to, it's like being a ballet dancer or, you know, a football, but you have to get through the pain. You have to get through anything. You have to be there.
That's awesome.
Even when you're not feeling well.
I got
So
you.
I hope this gave everyone a little bit of insight. I'm very realistic about it. I don't sugarcoat it. I tell you the truth.
Wow. Louise, you've been amazing. I can't wait to meet you in person as well. And hopefully after the holidays, me and Yvonne can pop over there and say hello to you and give everybody your website one more time.
It's Louise's People.
Louise'sPeople.com. Great agent.
You can find me on Facebook too, you know, always.
Awesome. What a blessing for you to call in, and we thank you so much. And
well, thanks for having me, and I hope everyone has a great holiday.
Oh, you too, Louise.
You too, Louise.
Awesome.
Okay.
God bless.
Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
We're going to get her in the studio. I mean, isn't that cool to have a top agent?
Absolutely,
We
yeah.
have Marty calling in all the time.
Get
which
the ins
gives...
and outs of everything.
Exactly,
Get prepared for, those auditions that you have. Yeah.
There you go. And so, anyways, let's go to John Schneider real quick. He's going to say something from Andrew Heller. We'd like to thank you so much for having our reporter. And then we're going to go to a quick interview with John Schneider with Alexia, one of our top reporters. We'll be right back, and we're going to have a comic call in just a minute.
John Schneider, you're listening to Dawn Reese on Hollywood Connection, which, of course, is Tan Talk Radio.
It's the hazard. Thank you, Andrew.
Maria Orihuela reporting for Hollywood Connections on Tan Talk Radio on set for The Gift of Heart with
John Schneider.
So can you tell everyone your character?
What?
Your character's name, Mr. Doctor?
His name is Dr. Heller.
I'm
Dr. Heller, yes. I'm a
back
doctor,
with
can't
another
you
cast
tell?
interview, and I'm here with... So right now he's on break, and he's almost out for the day. This is his first day on set. So can you tell everyone how your first day's going?
First day's going really well. We have a lot of fantastic interns, I believe, on the crew, which is so great to watch people as they're learning something that they're passionate about. So I'm enjoying it.
That's great. And what do you think of the movie?
I think the movie's great. The movie's very heartfelt, no pun intended, but I like the fact that I like movies with happy endings, with happy, tragic stories that end well, and that's what this one is. So
can you tell everyone a little bit about your character and how you feel about his whole characterism and how you feel bringing him to life is going to be?
I play a doctor who is a heart surgeon, so I'm the one who's going to be performing the heart transplant. So I like to play him a bit more pragmatic than maybe people might, because I know a lot of doctors, and doctors are not, when it comes time to give you good or bad news, they're not overly happy and they're not overly sad. They're kind of right down the middle, telling you the facts, telling you how things are. So that's how I'm going to play. I'm going to play this particular guy. But inside, I'm very excited for the little girl, because we talk about in the movie, we talk about where you're on the list and we're in a network and we have a registry and we're trying to find a donor. But what that means is we are aware when someone else passes away that matches your blood type, so that we can put their heart in your chest. So what it means is someone else has to die. And I'm hoping that a little bit of that will somehow come across in what I'm doing. We'll see. It's a challenge.
Yeah. I feel like it's going to be a really good role for you to bring out, and I hope you have the best time on set. So when you've heard about this film and you were in contact with the director, Mr. Andrew Heller, what did you think of the script, and what was that one thing that you really wanted to be a part of this movie?
Well, completely honesty, Austin St. John is a friend of mine. And Austin is the one that made me aware of the book, and made me aware of the script, and then of course made me aware of the movie. So I was looking very much forward to working with him, and that's what we're doing today. So that's really cool. And again, I do like to work. I do like stories that have children involved, and that have some tragedy involved that wind up ultimately happy. So I'm excited about this one. But really working with Austin, because he's a little bit crazier than you might expect.
I think his character's quite
I'm talking
strong.
about Austin.
Oh.
Austin's a little out of his tree. Yeah, so it's fun.
Oh wow, that's wonderful. And do you have any social media where your fans can follow you and keep up to date with your newest movie roles coming out, and just follow you to talk to you?
Sure. Go to John_Schneider. If that's too difficult, go to John Schneider Studios. You can find out anything you want to know there. Okay? Or if you want some new movies, go to Cineflix, CINEFLIXDOD, which is our digital on-demand platform where you can see lots of independent films, some of which my studio makes, but we also invite other people globally in. So come on out, Cineflix, DOD.
Great. And one last thing. What is one thing you'd like to tell to the viewers, or why they should come out and see A Gift of the Heart?
Well, because there are surprises in it. They'll get you. Watching this movie will get you in touch with some emotions that perhaps you're not aware. You know, a lot of people aren't very emotional these days. Everybody's kind of, You know, we're in a tweeting world. So I think if you come out to this movie, it'll affect you in ways that you're currently unaware. So come on out. You'll enjoy it, I promise.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have a great rest of your day on set. And thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for more interviews from the cast and crew of Gift of the Heart. Thank you.
Attorney, high-powered, super successful. He's a father, husband, and his world kind of comes toppling down when he discovers that his daughter has a heart condition that if she doesn't get a new heart, she's going to die. And the issue is a rare blood type. Sam is, well, he's a bigot. He's a real jerk. As the movie starts out, he's not real friendly towards the immigrant population. And there are a lot of people here in America that have experienced that, so it's kind of why we touch on it. As the movie progresses, an immigrant boy comes in very early on, and fast forward 12 years, becomes best friends with my daughter. And they hit it off, and without ruining the movie, I'm going to tell you that my daughter's life is saved from one of the most unlikely sources, and it forces me, or Sam, to come full circle and make a U-turn.
Right.
You know, so it's powerful, and it's one of the reasons that this movie is it's going to touch everyone. There's no one that hasn't experienced some form of discrimination, regardless of what it is, where it is, what culture, race, religion, sex. Everybody's felt it somewhere. That's one of the reasons this film is important to me. The other side of it is I've spent 16 years in emergency medicine. I've seen people live and die all over the world, and I've seen them live and die due to discrimination or lack thereof, due to access to organs, or someone who is an organ donor being discovered quickly enough to get them to the hospital, harvest the organs, and get them to the person whose life they can save. So it touches on cancer and the suffering that cancer survivors or those that didn't survive cancer and their loved ones go through. There's just no level of compassion. If you've got a heart and a soul, this is going to hit you in the feel goods, and it's going to stick with you for a while.
Now, I know that your character is pretty jerky, and
So those 2 full interviews are going to be on HollywoodConnections.biz. If you are driving and you're like, oh, this is so cool. Yes, I have reporters that are out there on the red carpet. If you have a child or a teen that would like to be one, please get in touch with me, HollywoodConnections.biz. Before we go to our next VIP guest, I just want to talk about the Fan 2C. Come on this amazing cruise. And you're going to actually, it's just so cool. Go to FAN2C.com, put in Superman, last I knew. And you're going to get 15% off for Hollywood One as well. And a lot of celebrities will be on this cruise from January 19th through the 23rd. Also, if you're driving and you're a General Hospital fan, we actually have a contest. Write me at DR, think of Dr. Hollywood, DR, HollywoodConnections@gmail.com. You might do a meet and greet with these amazing holiday heat hunks that are coming in from Los Angeles, if you're a General Hospital fan. Okay, so we have our next VIP guest. And thank you, Larry from Sunny's Comedy Club. And Lana, are you on the air?
I am. Hi.
Hi. Sorry, we actually had an agent. That's what this show is all about, is helping people get connected. And you are an amazing woman. We are super excited that you're going to be at Sunny's Comedy Club this weekend on Friday. Is that correct?
Yep.
Hi. And now, of course, Larry called me. It was so funny. I took off and I went to a movie the other day, and he's like, call me right back. I've got this amazing woman. I know. And so tell us about your background. I mean, I read that you're a Grammy nominee.
Well, it's I have an album that I just released that's on the docket. So I'm a musical comedian. I do funny songs.
Okay.
And I recorded an album this past year with an amazing producer, and he submitted it for a Grammy nom. They haven't announced yet, but it's in the comedy section of the Grammys. So it's a pretty exciting time for me.
Oh, that's really nice. Now, I heard you're going to be shooting a special pretty soon as well.
Yes, so I'm shooting a 1-hour special in February. So getting to do a show like this one on Friday is awesome because I can run my hour and really continue to work on that. And this is the hour that I will be recording in just a few months. So I'm really excited, as well as the music that I recorded. I did a bunch of music videos. So all of this stuff is kind of coming out at the same time.
Wow.
It's really cool. I've got a lot of cool things happening. So
give everybody your website.
It's just my name is Lana Turner, Lahna, Turner, Turner. There's a old actress named Lana Turner, and so if you look up her, she won't have the H in there, so Lahna.
LAHNA Turner.com.
Yes, and it's Lana Turner on all the other social media handles, too, like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Lana Turner.
Well, I tell a lot of comics when they call in, give me something of a stand-up, give me some routines, and everybody goes, Dawn, you have to come to the show. So I know. It's really funny. But, how did you start out in comedy?
I wrote funny songs. I always played guitar and wrote songs from the time I was a little girl, and I wrote a couple of funny ones, and I wandered into an open mic, and I had a great first time, and then 2 months later, I got paid. I did a set at the club in Houston where I first started, and I walked off stage. I remember the manager put $20 in my hand, and it was like it burned me. I was like, what is this for? And then that was it. I was like, I've got to figure out how to do this all the time. So I couldn't believe somebody would actually pay me to do something that I loved that much.
Wow.
And 18 years later, I'm still doing it.
18 years of comedy. That is amazing.
It's a blast.
Now, where do you live? What's your city? What's your hometown?
I live in Los Angeles.
Okay. My old stomping grounds was on Hollywood and Vine in the old Taft building.
Oh, nice. I used to live on Sunset and Gardner. So
that was close.
Right down the street. Yeah.
Wow.
But I live in an area, Laurel Canyon, which is like totally music hippy dippy.
Yep. Sure.
Yeah.
Well, are you going to be in Florida for a while, or do you have family here?
I have family. My parents live in Sarasota, so I'm here regularly, and I was here for Thanksgiving, and this gig just kind of came up, and I'm feeling so blessed.
Ooh, well, I have something else for you. I think you might be interested. I have an independent producer over at Home Shopping Network that I've been working with, Joy Mangano. I help him with castings, and I get some really cool gifts. And we just did the Keith Urban, which you'll see me on the 25th and the 26th on HSN. Yes, look for me strumming guitar. I don't know how to play. I'm still learning the DVDs. But this is for you, because you said you play guitar. How good of a guitar player are you?
I've played my whole life, but I'm decent. I should be so much better for the amount of years I've put in, but I'm pretty good. But, I can always improve.
Well, that's a good thing, because I have now the next casting they're going to be working on next month is the Randy Jackson guitar. And what we need is a video of you playing guitar, and then you may get that guitar from Randy Jackson and then be on HSN. And you can say, here, I'm a worldwide comic, and they'll ask you some questions. Because I said, I want to learn how to play for my show. And I gave exposure for that. That was really cool.
That's awesome. Yeah. How do I do that?
Well, I will get you my information afterwards, since I have your number, because Larry just texted it to me. So I will say, send up a video to YouTube of you playing guitar really well.
Okay.
And then just say, hi, Rob and Dawn, why you'd like to be on HSN for the Randy Jackson guitar. And if he selects you, well, of course, we'll send the guitar to your parents' house in Sarasota, and then we'll give you a date to come in and shoot.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
I know. Now we have Chris, and of course, my producer may have a question for you. You have a question for a comic?
Yes, I do. Hi, Lon. I'm Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, since that's kind of I feel like you have like a niche comedy music combo there. Do you have any musical and/or comedy influences?
Ooh, yeah. I mean, well, comedically, there's a couple of people. Like wow. I've always loved the singer-songwriters for music, like Tracy Chapman and Sean Colvin and that type of female-driven singer-songwriter kind of stuff. But comedically, there's been like even Adam Sandler's Hanukkah song. Come on, it's the holidays. Like, you don't get better than that, right?
That song's amazing.
Yeah. So I love the idea of being able to be able to write a beautiful song, but also have it be hilarious. And right now, my album that I just created is called Limeade, because we made the visual album to go with it, which isn't yet out. But it's more of an homage to Beyonce doing Lemonade. So,
wow, can you give us like a little hint? Because I know Larry was trying to pull some stuff up, but we have to. I had another gal here on the air. We had to censor her out a couple of times. Peter's like, is there something, because we have to be careful because we're on 5 stations. But is there something that you can kind of give us, like something, a little idea what you do?
Well, I sent some edited versions of the tracks in for you guys, because the songs are adult, but they're not filthy. Like this album and what I'll be working on this Friday. Are songs that relate. I've been going through divorce this year, and so the album is like no joke. Which is a joke. It's a comedy music breakup album. So it's sort of like, I've been calling it the jagged little pill of comedy.
But that helps, can I tell you? Because I'm happily married now. I just got married in February, but I went through a divorce, and instead of going to therapy, I went to comedy school, Sandy Shore, Pauly Shore's sister. Mm-hmm. I haven't, this is why I do my bits on my quick wit on the radio. But you know what? It was healing for me, because even though I was talking about him, it helped,
Yeah.
It does. It does.
Comedy is definitely the result of tragedy, and it definitely helps people heal. Everybody can heal through each other's common experience. And I never dreamed that I'd be a divorcee and going through all this kind of stuff, but it really inspired me to do something extremely creative. And while I was doing it, I didn't even realize, I was just like going through the motions of the mourning process. And at the other side of it, I have this amazing project that I'm super proud of. And it seems like one thing sort of spawns the next. So basically, I did the album, and then that spawned the visual album, which I shot at Full Sail University in Orlando.
Oh, Full Sail's awesome. Yes.
Yes. And you know what was so cool? It was a student-based project, but they allowed me to use their facilities and their equipment. And, these guys were incredible. I had a soundstage, a backlot, and they shot on the best equipment. So, I've got this amazing movie coming out. And then because of that, the woman who produced, I also have another 1-hour special. It's called So I Wrote a Song About It. It's available right now on Amazon. And you can anywhere you download your content. But it was up on Hulu, and it's kind of Hollywood jargon, but like the distribution company went out of business, so that special is currently looking for a new home. So basically, one thing stacked on top of the other. They're going to find the old special a new home, shoot a new special, and release the videos for Limeade. And it's so much content at once, and none of it would have happened if I was happily married.
Oh,
So
interesting.
it's kind
Okay,
of
Peter.
cool. Like,
Peter's asking a question. He's ready.
And she was
All right.
she was actually married to Ralphie May, who's also a comedian, and he's had his stuff that he's done, and he's gotten prominence, I believe, from NBC show, the comedy show that he got on. But you also have a podcast out there, Perfect 10 Podcast. Tell us about that a little bit.
Yeah, well, let me back up a little. I'm still technically married. We haven't been able to finalize the legal stuff, which sucks. But yeah, we were together for a long time, and things have moved on with that. But as far as what was the second part you asked about?
The Perfect 10 Podcast. Tell us about that.
My podcast.
Yeah.
I actually just released. It comes out every Wednesday, so a new episode just went live today. And I love my podcast so much. It's all about having a lot of fun, which you guys know because you do on the radio. But I get to spend a good 45 minutes with a guest, and my main thing is to have somebody that hasn't talked about anything that they've ever shared on any other podcast or radio station before. And my other idea is that I think everybody's famous. So, you might have a good story, and it doesn't have to be a comedian or an entertainer. It's just somebody who I might know or run across. And I have so much fun with it. And the podcast has been building. It's on a network called All Things Comedy, and it's up there with that's Bill Burr and Al Magical's network. So I'm up with a lot of really top-notch podcasts on there, and I'm super proud of it. Yeah, I mean, the name of the podcast started because it was originally shared by my ex-husband and I. But when he and I split, I just decided to keep doing it, and the format has changed. If you go back and listen to the first 100 episodes, they're so different than what I'm doing now. And they're all great. It's a cool archive and a lot of content if you have a long drive.
I'm going to have to check it out because it does sound like it's great.
Very cool. Very cool. And then
there's hundreds. This week's episode I'm particularly proud of. I mean, my guest was super honest and open and talked about, some pretty hard stuff in her life. And she's amazing for some of the stuff she shared. And it was hilarious too because she's a very funny woman.
Well, I know Chris has a question for you.
Lana, do you have an agent or a manager that's currently helping you with all this?
Well, the guy that produced my album is currently helping manage my business. He's amazing, and otherwise, I'm pretty renegade. Been doing a lot on my own these days.
Wow, I have some agent friends. I know we have about 6 minutes left, and I know we're gonna close. And I can't wait to see you this week. And we'll get you live on Facebook as well over at Sunny's Comedy Club off of Highway 19 and Sunset Point Cinemas. But I know that, we just had an agent on the air with us, Louisa's People. She is a Screen Actors Guild agent now as well. We have Marty Moreno. He is a casting director. He calls in every week. But my good friends, do you know Jeff Olin up there in Los Angeles? Right. Do you know Jeff Olin Casting?
I don't, but...
You need to. Yes.
I need to.
Yes. And there's so many great people. I have another agent friend, Jackie, is up there. She is a top manager. So there's some great people that we still keep in touch with in Los Angeles that, you can go knock on the door for me and say hello and try to get an agent as well.
Oh, sure. I mean, it's all about knowing people and friends. And, and I've been very blessed in my career, like, just being able to get into stuff. We're waiting right now to find out about a couple of films I did over the summer. Sundance is releasing there's probably 6,000 films that were submitted, but I'm in several films that I'm just waiting to hear back because that would be super exciting. And I've been really blessed. I'm such a lucky person, but and I'm looking forward to all the other cool stuff that I can do, including this Friday night.
Yes. And is it just one night that you're going to be there?
Just one night. For now, it's just one show, but they're expecting to do 2 shows because I guess the day after Thanksgiving, everybody wants to get away from their families, right?
Okay, wait. Larry is texting me. He's like, "Did you know that she was in Playboy?" And I'm like, "Okay, I'm going to announce." He wants me to say hello. How was that?
I wasn't in Playboy, but I have been in some. Maybe he's confusing it because the album cover for my last project was If These Lips Could Talk, and I'm not wearing any clothes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a joke album cover. I've been on Playboy though. I've been on the Playboy radio station. I've been on Playboy.
Okay,
TV
maybe that's
network.
what he meant.
Impressive.
Okay.
Yes, and I did a Playboy show. Okay, so yes, I have been in. I'm thinking like magazines. So yeah, I did this TV show on Playboy where we made fun of another show. Kind of, those talking head things where they have comedians pop up in the bubble and they make fun of stuff. I did that show a couple of years ago too. So yeah, he's right.
Okay, thank you, Larry.
I've never done a magazine though. That would be that's a whole different thing, right?
Oh no. Well, I got to have you hold on for a second. We're not going to let you go yet. I know Ellen wants to pop on. We have about 3 minutes left, and Ellen's going to tell us really quick about her event coming up in February. Don't go anywhere, Alana. Stay right there. And Ellen, tell us about your event. You're going to do another one in February in Orlando, Kissimmee.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Good, good. We're just wrapping up the show, but we want to get you in to talk about your event.
Good, good. Thanks so much, Dawn. I appreciate all the promo and everything, the shout-outs for Mad Fashion 2016. It was such a great success that we've gone ahead and booked our second event at the same location, which is the Flamingo Water Park Resort. And if you wish to book a room for that weekend, which would be the weekend of February the 4th, 2017, you can call the Flamingo Water Park Resort and give them the promo code St. Jude's, and the room is just $55 per night, which includes 4 water park passes.
Oh, I know. I saw that. That was so much fun. I was interviewing Henry Winkler, and I was stuck at getting all these celebrities for the show, but I heard the reporters did awesome over there. And we want to hold on a second because we have 2 minutes, Ellen, and give your website again, where to go.
Yep, you can just find us on Facebook under Mad Fashion 2017, or if you wish to be a part of the event, send your request to Mad Mommy Show 2015@gmail.com.
Perfect. Now, I just got a little text from Larry, and he said he apologizes, Lotta. He goes, it was on Google. It wasn't my fault.
No, he's right. He's right, though. That's what's so funny is I forgot I haven't even done that.
That's
Sorry,
okay.
Larry, you're totally right.
But also,
I was on... Yeah, I've done some stuff with Playboy, which is pretty cool.
Okay, well, that was Larry. He was like texting me back. And I know we have 1 minute. Ladies, stay on the phone. I just want to thank the World's Miss Tourism Pageants.com as I represent Florida for the tourism. Yes, I'm in my 50s, and yes, I'm going to go to Nashville next year in Tennessee. And it's kind of a fun thing that I'm doing. And if you'd like to enter, it's all ages. Super fun. They do challenges, and I'm doing a lot with it. I'm going on parades and a lot of things myself and having a blast with that. Go to HollywoodConnections.biz. Check me out. Peter, thank you so much for being here today.
You're welcome. No problem.
And enjoy those cookies.
Happy Thanksgiving.
And Chris, did you have fun today?
Yes, absolutely. I'll come on anytime.
Awesome. Chris wants to do some sports reporting and some things, and I said I'll get him in the water, and then maybe he's going to call in on Peter's show. Peter, your show is this Saturday.
That's right. The only FM sports talk show in the Tampa Bay area from 3 to 5. The Sports Web. Bring your passion. Bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you something to think about.
Right. Have a happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Give it to God. Watch things happen.
Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Ellen. God bless. And thank you so much, Lana. We'll see you this weekend at Sonny's Comedy Club. And Chris, thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
WTAN, Clearwater, Tampa Bay. WDCF, Dade City, Tampa Bay. WZHR, Zephyr Hills, Tampa Bay. Listen.
For tomorrow's 90th anniversary Macy's Parade, President-elect Donald Trump called for unity in his Thanksgiving address posted on social media.
It's time to restore the bonds of trust between citizens.
The ultra-conservative website Breitbart News has been cut off by online advertising exchange AppNexus, citing its policy against hate speech. Forecasters say Otto has gained strength and is once again a hurricane. It's moving closer to Central America. I'm Barbara Cusack. The North Koreans could have nuclear-tipped ballistic missiles capable of hitting the U.S. sometime during the Trump administration. Correspondent Brian Todd has details.
U.S. intelligence officials tell CNN the White House is conveying that North Korea is a grave, near-term threat to America. The Wall Street Journal says the Obama team viewed North Korea as Trump's top national security priority and warned the Trump transition team about the threat.
The first lawsuit has been filed in connection